This is New Hampshire Cross Country powered by Runners Alley, coming at you from the Bobcat Invitational. Today's girls JV race is brought to you by WV Physical Therapy, the winner of Best Physical Therapy Clinic of the Seacoast. Brian Moyer here with me is
Ben Robinson.
So coming at you for the girls JV race now, starting in about 2 minutes.
Judging by this, Tim Cox. Judging by the varsity teams, Oyster River won it pretty easily, 28 points to Exeter 72. And I say that only because a lot of times the best varsity teams have a really good JV team. So if I'm looking at this race for JVs, I'm looking at Oyster River. They continue to add to their depth. So I think that, and it's their home course. They hung back really well in that last race, and we'll see what happens here. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I always like JV races because you never know when you're gonna have one of those athletes try to fight for a spot to get into that varsity spot. I mean, you had your top 9 in those varsity races, which is a bit unusual in certain cases, but you still want to look for these runners to kind of put their all out here in these JV races just to try to sneak themselves into those varsity teams.
You see Bob Jadari giving his final instructions. Good luck with the call, boys.
Thank you, Tim.
Appreciate that.
So we're gonna get here underway with the start, as we'll look to see who will win individually. There was no team scores for junior varsity, but of course we'll also keep track of that regardless. So we're about a little less than a minute away here. So we got flag is up, gun is up. So we are now underway for the girls junior varsity race for Bobcat Invitational. It looks to be Exeter taking it out pretty hard, I believe. Again, Exeter was one of the teams in the top for the varsity race, so definitely going to be interesting to see team race. We have Londonderry in the mix, as well as Portsmouth and Alvern. Bedford's group right in the center. Bedford also near the back of the pack with the rest of Alvern. There's to be some Oyster River there, and we're gonna sit tight here and wait for the first mile. So we have our leader coming in. It is Exeter coming here up. Can't see the bib number here yet, but we're coming up to the mile marker. Have been here trying to hit me with paper.
This is the whole thing, I'm sorry.
But here we go, looking at about coming up a little under 7 minutes for the first mile.
All right, watch this, I got it. That's gonna be Madeline Ralabate of Exeter, followed by Claire Wilhelm of Exeter, followed by, I want to say that was Stella Dutton of Londonderry.
So those are your top 3 for the JV race. You have a couple of Exeter in the front for teams here. Looks like we got quite a crew of Portsmouth on their way here in the quote chase pack. It's kind of broken up here. Yeah, so it's just under 7 minutes for that first mile of this race. As we mentioned before, these races are usually great for those who are just outside of contention for the varsity teams. Then we have Exeter really
so
young.
Many girls in this. I mean, we're quite a few girls in, but they had 3 in the top 5. Starting the race, they had like 10 girls just all the way across.
Yeah, really just blocking up that start. Starting to thin out here towards the end. As at this 1 mile mark. And so we'll leave it here and transfer over to that 2nd mile for the girls JV race. Now we're coming up to the 2 mile marks. Kind of see in the distance there our leaders. Looks like it's 2 Exeter and Londonderry once again. I believe it's the same 3 that we mentioned earlier. Time is about 7:27, closing in on that 2 mile for that split.
Right up there in front, we're going to have Claire Wilhelm. She moved her way up, freshman. Right in second is going to be the leader at the 1 mile mark. It's going to be Madeline Ralabate. And then right behind is going to be Londonderry's Stella Dutton.
So those are your top 3, and Exeter definitely leading the way for a team.
And here's Oyster River's number 1 here, Sadie Goldberg.
It looks to be Portsmouth in number 5.
So yeah, that's going to be. I wish I could tell you. Unfortunately, I can't.
Go through those pages quicker.
I couldn't. She's not on there. 467. There's no 467 here.
Okay.
PCA came through though.
So that's your top 5. Looks like they've put on
quite a gap. From
definitely a big gap. So yeah, so about 7:30 for the 2nd mile by our leaders. Looks like we have the rest of the pack coming in. Looks like that's going to round out our top 10 for the girls JV race. Looks to be Oyster River right there with Bedford, I believe, as well as another Portsmouth Christian and then Exeter. So that's your 6 through 9 there. And looks like it's another Oyster River.
Oyster River might come away with this.
It's gonna be.
There's another Exeter. That's
Exeter's squad is very
there's their
deep in
5,
in this race. So, and that's if we were scoring teams in here anyway. But and Alvern, 2 Exeter, Londonderry also in the mix here. This is where we look to see have Bedford, but yeah, it looks like Exeter just has runners all throughout positioning. So we'll have, again from here you have 1 mile and 200 left to go. So we'll make our transition towards the finish for the final stretch of this girls JV race 5K. Looks like we have our leader coming around the corner as Exeter's Wilhelm coming down the line to win the girls JV race at the Bobcat Invitational.
Great kick. Going to be just over 23 minutes here. Here comes your teammate.
Great finish.
Is going to be Londonderry's Dutton.
Dutton from Londonderry coming in 2nd.
Followed by Ralabate of Exeter as well.
So that will be your top 3 for this year's Bobcat Invitational. It looks like we have Oyster River going down, and then Portsmouth Christian. So that's your top 5 starting from the 2 mile mark. That has not changed. Down all under. Whoa, what a kick. 24, great kick. Going down to the finish. Right around 23:47. Great kick there. Now we'll have a little bit of time before we see the rest of
if you remember
the chasers.
At that 2 mile mark, we had a very big gap between 5th and the rest of the runners here.
Yeah, so solid splits to start out about 6:45 at about the first mile. 2nd mile is about 7:30. Try to see if we can get a little bit more of clock here. Coming up at about 24.5 minutes here. Again, you already have your top 5 coming in for this race. The rest.
So the top 5 came through in under 24, and now
Which is really
no
solid.
one else is going to be in the 24s.
Yeah.
So we went in the 23s for 5 of them.
Yep. And so
No
here they
one-
are rounding the corner.
Got a good battle coming down the stretch here between Albert and Noir.
So 6 through 8 just coming in was Alvern, Oyster River, then Bedford. Looks like we have Bedford for 9th.
Let's go, you got this! Let's go!
Bedford. Yeah, both Bedford going to round out your top 10 and 9th and 10th. Followed by Portsmouth Christian. This is where you start to see where any runners have a lot of saved up energy for these kicks.
There have been some crazy kicks in this girls' JV race so far.
Yeah, we haven't been able to see much because we were in the woods for the varsity races, so definitely a nice change of pace for us to see the finish. So you'll start to see the Exeter crew start rolling in. Again, saw that in the beginning. They had a giant pack right at the front. Been more widespread through the course, but now see them all coming in. Yeah, I think we have 4 consecutive Exeter runners coming through now. Yep.
Kirsten? Is that Kirsten?
Then we're going to have a Bedford and then another Exeter.
So yeah, so all throughout you're going to see lots of Exeter coming through for this race. And we'll continue to have the camera going for the all the way through the finish, but I think that will be it from myself and Ben here. So we'll cut it there. This is New Hampshire Track Cross Country powered by Runners Alley from the Bobcat Invitational 2024, which has been brought to you by the WB Physical Therapy, winner of the best physical therapy clinic of the Seacoast. So we'll cut it there. We'll keep it rolling for the finish. So long here from Demerit Hill Farm.
Good job, Andrew! Good job! Who's this? Is Helena? Yeah. Go, Helena! Let's go, Helena! Let's go! Come on! Let's go, Helena! Sprint, Helena! Sprint! Go, Helena! You got it!
Here, I'll be like, yep. See the sponsors. Hopefully.
Nice job! Nice job! Let's go, Laura! Let's go! Let's go, Nice job! Good job, good job.
job. Finish. Doesn't walk into the shoot. Good job. Grab it.
Now, Sammy's still coming. I think it's 1 or 2 more. So Sammy